In the Default Objects tab, you will find a drop-down box with a list of simple polygonal shapes to choose from. Upon choosing the shape you wish to work with, you are then able to either increase or decrease the number of subdivisions on the object, as well as the color of said object. In the Regenerator tab, you have the pre-assembly for the explosive effect before animating the object. The curve that the object moves along as it shatters will always have an origin of 0, 0, 0, but you have the ability to choose an endpoint of the created curve by moving position X, Y, and position Z. You are also able to change the size of the explosion that occurs and the end size of the object in the scene. The deformation slider adds an interesting and fun element to the explosion by initially deforming your object to create a morphed effect by jittering the geometry. The higher the number in the deformation slider, the more abstract and unrecognizable the object becomes in its first stage. To finalize your creation, if you are happy with the curve path created, then we will move to the Animation tab. Here you will choose a start and end frame that you would like your object to animate through. Then hit Apply and watch your object regenerate.
Hello, my name is Meredith O'Malley, and this is the introduction to my plasma generator. When the user uses the plasma generator, they are going to be introduced with a fluid box, a fluid emitter, which is invisible to the user, and also a collision object by default. The purpose of this is to give the user a pre-made plasma form and allow it to be customizable to the user. First, through base resolution, which determines how detailed or how non-detailed your plasma is going to be. The simulation rate scale, which also has to do with the final render. The lower the number, the slower your plasma is going to move in space, and the higher the number, the faster your object is going to move through space. Velocity draw is used to help the viewer visualize the motion of the fluid. That can be turned on and off at will. Velocity swirl helps generate further detail in the fluid or plasma. It helps with texture and movement, or movement by texture. Temperature scale, because this is a temperature-based piece of matter, it's going to determine how big or how small your plasma is going to be. The buoyancy determines the weight. The negative side of buoyancy is going to make it heavier. The positive is going to make it lighter. Turbulence and noise are going to have similar effects on the plasma. The turbulence is going to change the velocity. It's going to basically randomize the velocity.
Hello, and welcome to the Victorian Home Generator. Before we begin, we need to change the render settings to mint array and add indirect lighting. Now that is set up, we can begin to customize this pre-modeled home. Our first tab is Color Options. Under Color Options, we have the main colors, the railings and the columns, and the molding colors. Once you drop down the menu, you can select different buttons and hit apply. Once these are applied, then the colors will appear upon the house. Please keep in mind the color of the house will show up when you render it. Under the next tab is foliage. Under here we can choose trees, bushes, ground cover, and ivy. If you do choose any of the above, the render time will be increased. Finally, under the last tab are extra options. Within this tab you can choose whether you want a straight or spiral staircase, an iron or a white picket fence, and what texture you want on your sidewalk. Once again, the sidewalk texture will show up once you render. Once you've created everything you want, you can create a new file, open something else, change the script, or open the hypershade. Thank you, and we hope you've enjoyed using our Victorian home generator.
Hi, this is Constance Benson and Thomas Devon with a solar system generator. I'm just going to jump right in here. We've got a lot of different settings for you to customize your solar system. We've got sun, planets, orbits, asteroid field, moon, and animation. I'm just going to go ahead and hit generate and see what comes up. Alright, it's already looking pretty cool. You can see I've already got some textures in there because I was messing around with it earlier. But they are all fully customizable, of course. You can change the sun texture, and the planets are actually based on a folder texture system, so you can choose a folder and then it will randomize each texture based on what's in that folder as long as you follow this file path, which is pretty awesome. The moons all have the same texture right now because they're too small at the moment to really need something more different or high def. I'm going to go in and change some of the settings here just to see what we can get. You can change lots of things like the orbit, the number of planets, how big the planets are, and you can keep hitting generate if you want some more options. Here we've also got a star dome for you to drop a star texture in if you want to. And of course it's all fully animated, so everything's spinning around each other. You can make an asteroid field if you want a little bit of an extra element. Just be sure to load the file in beforehand. And that's all you need to get started on your awesome solar system render. So here's ours. Hope you enjoy. Thanks!